for this one because it's a 6-step system, and today is about deliver it to the world. What's that mean? We started with honor God within yourself, exercise love, forgive, have presence. Last week was establish your mission, and now it's actually delivering it and living it. How exciting is that? Well, here's the deal. So your purpose is a calling. It's not something that you chose. You didn't choose your purpose. You were born for it. You're being led into it, and you really don't have a choice, because what will happen is the universe will continue to push you in that direction and push things in your life that if you keep resisting it, then finally you'll have to take action to end the suffering, right? Because your soul is moving in that direction, whether you like it or not. It's why you're here. So let's just make this easy and let's just deliver it. How's that? So I got 6 steps that we're going to go through. These aren't business principles. These are all spiritual principles. 6 spiritual principles that will give you the power and the strength and the determination and the stamina to fulfill your purpose. Number 1, this is from Tony Robbins. Number 1 reason people fail is they don't have a compelling reason. What's that mean? Your purpose has to be so strong inside you that it creates inspiration. What's that mean? Well, let's use an example. In a marathon, did you know that the most common mile that people quit is the 20th mile? Why is that? Because you get to the 20th mile, man, I'm tired. My body hurts. And the problem is they can't see the finish line. And so what they do is they get caught up in each mile. People that succeed focus on the outcome. Why? Because it gives them inspiration. When you see the outcome in your mind, you don't get stuck in your body and the pain. That's why people quit in the 20th mile. One of the most common. In Psalm 1, it says, meditate in his law. I'm paraphrasing, day and night. Right? So your roots are into the river of water. What's that mean? That means I keep the vision in front of me and I have inspiration. So why? So the fruit will come in its season. That means eventually when I don't see it, when I'm at the 20th mile and all I feel is pain, that tape is still there at 6 miles. So even if I don't see it, the fruit will come in its season. So your leaves shall not wither. What's that mean? So I'm not focused on my body and the pain. When you're fulfilling your purpose, it's so easy. There can be so many challenges. You focus on the pain that you forget about the fruit. Sometimes people need to say to us, dude, your leaves are withering. Right? So let's keep our roots planted by the river so we don't wither. So everything you do shall prosper. See, that's how you prosper. People that focus on the outcome, their leaves don't wither. Why? Because they're always being nourished, because their roots are in the river. People that fail focus on the steps. Why? Because they feel the pain of every step in their body and their leaves wither. And so I'm going to refer to my notes a little bit. So we want to go from willpower to inspiration. So when you decide and you make a decision, you decide, I am going to fulfill my purpose all the way to the end. Then you have inspiration. Inspiration pulls like a vacuum. Willpower pushes like pushing a boulder uphill. That's your leaves withering. Inspiration pulls. What's that mean? My roots are in the river. And I'm going to see my fruit. You also, when you make, and then power radiates from you. Sorry, I'm having so many thoughts at one time. Powers radiate from you, and people are attracted to you. They flock around you because they're there. Other spirits are there to help you fulfill that purpose. And you activate in your mind your RAS, reticular activating system. What's that mean? Whatever you focus on, that's what you see. So if you want to buy a red Chevy, all of a sudden you can see no red Chevys, but when you decide you want to buy one, they're everywhere. All of a sudden you're surrounded by red Chevys, right? Why? That's your reticular activating system. So when you decide and you're going to go to the end and you're focused on that, everything starts to come towards you. Your inspiration makes you take action, and all of a sudden you start fulfilling that vision on a higher level. That's step 1. What's step 2? You are perfect just the way you are. You are the perfect you. You know, so we're created with our body type. We're created with these genetics, although now we learn we can change them a little bit. However, we're created exactly who we are because we have all the tools to fulfill our purpose that no one else has, and they can't do it like you. So let's use a metaphor for better understanding. Let's use a metaphor of a car. Hey, you're fully loaded, man. When you go to the car, you got the ripping stereo, the wheels, the rims. you know, the suspension, you got all this stuff because God created you that way. So you could be a Chevy or a Dodge, right? You say, well, I want to be a Lamborghini. Well, guess what? A Lamborghini has benefits and consequences. What are the benefits? It'll get you there real fast, but if you're going real fast and you crash, you die. Look at all the actors. They're famous, they're beautiful, they seem to have everything, yet people commit suicide. They have drug overdoses, they're depressed, they get divorced. Right? There's some actors that are very successful and they use that money as a tool to contribute and change the world. Look at professional athletes. Right? They go through sports, multiple concussions, now they become disabled. You know, you give somebody immature a boatload of money, all of a sudden they're getting in trouble, they're doing drugs. See, that's a Lamborghini that they can't control the power. I'm not judging either way, but those cars have power and consequences. Look, I remember early when I was in my undergraduate school, my parents, I needed a car, so my parents gave us our old wood panel station wagon. It held 11 people. So it was awesome. Number one, I had a car. Number two, because it held 11 people, I would take my friends from the dorm. We'd turn in our meal tickets at the Commons. We'd pile people in there. We'd have all this food. We'd get a keg. I was at San Diego State, went down to La Jolla Shores at night. We'd eat a bunch of food, drink a bunch of beer. We'd go surfing at night. That's a great memory because it carried 11 people. I ended up selling that car to a family in need who had 3 kids that didn't have any money for $500. And it was a dependable car. It had a purpose. I just read something on Facebook that said there's 6 billionaires in the world that drive cars between $20,000 and $40,000. Warren Buffett drives a $33,000 car. Mark Zuckerberg, a $30,000 car. There was a guy, I didn't know his name, obviously a billionaire, $22,000 car. See, it doesn't matter what we are because God has a purpose. So we could be a Chevy, I'm not judging, we could be a Camry, but we're driving around a billionaire. Because one of them, I believe, had a Camry. Okay, so we look at our purpose. What are we called to do? Then the next thing, we don't judge yourself because you're here for your purpose. Step 3, set a standard of excellence. What's that mean? Be great where you are now. The title doesn't make the person makes the title. What's that mean? We set a standard of excellence and we be great. Look at Nelson Mandela, 27 years in jail. Is helping eliminate apartheid in South Africa from jail. 27 years. Comes out, the first black president. I heard a story from Joel Osteen actually this morning working out. A little boy had a vision and he wanted to be a pianist playing in front of hundreds of people. So his dad got him a piano at home. He starts playing chopsticks and he played chopsticks every day. So his dad wanted to surprise him, gives him a ticket to see this master level pianist at this show. They end up getting backstage. The little boy sees the piano behind the curtain, runs up, starts playing chopsticks. He's so immersed in the moment he doesn't realize the curtains had opened and this is the piano on the stage. He's just playing chopsticks, totally unaware. Hundreds of people are watching him. All of a sudden he feels a hand on his shoulder. It was a master pianist that was the performer and tells him, keep playing. He plays chopsticks. The master puts his hands on the keys and starts playing Beethoven. Then he incorporates the orchestra and became a master level chopsticks song. See, sometimes we start at chopsticks, but then God puts his hands all around what we're doing. I started elite coaching, chiropractic coaching, with 3 people, including myself, with $1,000. Now we coach chiropractors 10 years later all over the world. First time I gave a talk in chiropractic, it was to 3 people and I had diarrhea all day. Now I've spoken to audiences of thousands. Be faithful where you are, because when you're faithful with a little, you'll be given so much. Okay, now we got step 4. What's step 4? Have faith. Right? So when we have a standard of excellence, then we know we have faith. Well, we've talked about this before. What's the foundation of faith? Well, first of all, it's knowing you're a spiritual being. But one thing is to help deal with your mind, your subconscious mind. That's the 4 subconscious beliefs. What's that? You're a spiritual being first. Number 2, the universe has intention. You're here for a reason. You are going to fulfill your purpose. And everything in your life happens for a reason. The 3rd is God is directing your steps. So everything, no matter how it looks, is moving you toward your purpose. And 4 is you will fulfill your soul purpose. Now what does that do? When I know I'll fulfill it, then I make a decision. We can incorporate the rest. I know I'm committed to the end. I focus on the outcome. I meditate day and night. I keep my roots planted. I know my fruit is coming in season, so I don't judge where I'm at now. John Paul DiGiorio, who started Paul Mitchell, was homeless twice, and now they do over $4 billion a year. Right? So he was homeless twice. Many people are doing world-changing things. They were homeless, bankrupt. There's so many stories. So when you have faith, you change your story. What's that mean? I eliminate my story of pain. I have my story of abundance. I have my story of power. I have my story of confidence. I have my story of being a spiritual being and having faith. I have the confidence that I will fulfill my soul purpose, and I know everything is guided. There's only one way to go. And that's why we're in this physical body. Step 5 is build quality relationships. Put relationships first, because that's really at the end of our life, that's what we're going to notice the most. Is we don't step over people to fulfill a purpose. We step with people. We move with people because they're there to help us. In the end, it's not going to matter how much money we made or what we did. It's going to be what was the quality of our relationships. That's the quality of life. And when your primary core value is relationships, then that's the most fulfilling way, because it's a journey. So let's enjoy the relationships along the way. Step 6 is have gratitude. Why? Because sometimes when we're so focused on the outcome, we forget about joy in the process. Life is a process. The joy is in the process. So let's not step over the joy, miss the quality of relationships. Let's have gratitude, because gratitude also moves you from fear into love. Gratitude is the bridge from fear into love, because when you're fulfilling your purpose and you run into challenges, your mind will go into fear. So that's our default system. When I feel fear, I look around and I look at myself. I know that I'm called. I know the 4 subconscious beliefs. I have gratitude. I don't get caught up in what's outside of me. We have an inside-out reference points, which is honor God within yourself. We exercise love for ourselves and others, which is building relationships. We forgive, so we let go of the past so we can focus on the outcome. We have presence, so we can feel love no matter what the condition is. We know what our purpose is. We've already established it. Then we put it into action. We play chopsticks and we let the master's hands come and help us. So there's 6 steps to delivering your purpose to the world. They're not business steps. They're spiritual steps. Those 6 things come out of a much larger chapter of You Are More Powerful Than You Think, which will be out next year. All right, there's last 6 weeks or 6 steps. We're coming with more next week. Thanks for being with me. This is an amazing journey. I love all of you.